Hi everyone, I am Tejashree from MPM Government First Grade College, Karkala. I am going to explain you about advance payment of tax. Advance payment of tax or pay as you earn scheme. Pay as you earn scheme means that assessee has to pay tax simultaneously along with the earning of his income. This tax is paid on the current year's income in the same year. In fact, it is paid as advance and it is called advance payment of tax. Advance tax refers to paying a part of your taxes before the end of the financial year, also called pay as you earn scheme. Liability for payment of advance tax section 207. Advance tax shall be payable during any financial year in respect of the total income of the assessee which would be chargeable to tax for the assessment year immediately following that financial year, and it shall be called current income. However, an individual resident in India shall not be liable to pay advance tax if he fulfills the following conditions. He does not have any income chargeable under the head profits and gains of business or profession. He is of the age of 60 years or more at any time during the previous year. Condition of liability to pay advance tax. Section 208. Advance tax shall be payable during a financial year in every case where the amount of such tax payable by the assessee during that year, as computed in accordance with the provisions of advance tax, is rupees 10,000 or more. Computation of advance tax. Section 209. Computation by the assessee. Where advance tax is payable, the assessee himself shall compute the advance tax payable on his estimated current income at the rates in force in the financial year and deposit the same whether or not he has been earlier assessed to tax or not. Computation by assessing officer. Where a person has already been assessed by way of regular assessment and who has not paid any advance tax, the assessing officer will take the total income of the latest assessed previous year or the total income returned by the assessee for any subsequent previous year, whichever is higher. On such income tax will be calculated at the rates in force in the financial year. The income tax calculated under A and B above, as the case may be, shall in each case be reduced by the amount of tax deductible or collectible at source during the financial year from any income which has been taken into account in computing the current income or total income. The balance will be the amount of advance tax payable. However, the deduction for tax deductible at source or tax collectible at source shall not be allowed if the tax deductor or tax collector has failed to deduct or collect the tax at source. Next one is next agriculture income to be taken into account, where in case of any class of assessees, net agriculture income has to be taken into account for computing advance tax. Such income will be added to the aforesaid income and the tax shall be computed in the manner discussed in the computation of tax. Payment of advance tax by the assessee of his own accord or in pursuance of order of assessing officer. Section 210. Every person who is liable to pay advance tax shall of his own accord pay on or before each of the due days specified below the appropriate percentage specified therein of the advance tax on his current income. A person who pays any installment or installments of advance tax under subsection 1 may increase or reduce the amount of advance tax payable in the remaining installment or installments to accord with his estimate of his current income and the advance tax payable thereon. Third one is in the case of a person who already been assessed to income tax in respect of the total income of any previous year and the assessing officer is of the opinion that such person is liable to pay advance tax at any time during the financial year but not later than the last day of February, requires such person to pay advance tax calculated in the manner laid out in section 209 and to issue to such person a notice of demand specifying the installment or installments in which such tax is to be paid. Fourth one is if after the making of any order of the assessing officer under section 3 under third point, at any time before 1st March, a return is furnished by the assessee for any later year or any assessment of the assessee is made at a higher figure in respect of a previous year later than that referred to in third point, the assessing officer make an amended order accordingly. Fifth one, a person who is served with an order of the assessing officer under 3 or 4 may, if in his estimation the advance tax payable on his current income would be less than the amount of the advance tax specified in the order, send an intimation to the assessing officer to that effect and pay such tax as accords with this estimate. A person who is served with an order of the assessing officer under 3 or 4 shall, if in his estimation the advance tax payable on his current income would exceed the amount of advance tax specified in the order as or exceeds the amount of advance tax as intimated by him under fifth point, pay on or before the due date of the last installment the whole of such higher amount of advance tax as accords with this estimate. Installments of advance tax and due dates. Advance tax on the current income shall be payable by all assessee except mentioned in B who are liable to pay the same as per the following table whichever is favor the financial year 2016-17 on or before 15 June not less than 15% of advance tax, on or before 15 September not less than 45% of advance tax, it means 45% of advance tax less the amount paid in earlier installment, on or before 15 December not less than 75% of advance tax, it means 75% of advance tax less amount paid in earlier installments, on or before 15 March, the 100% of advance tax is reduced by the amount paid in earlier installments. B. An eligible SSC in respect of eligible business or eligible profession shall pay the whole amount of advance tax on or before 15 March of the relevant previous year. SSC deemed to be in default, Section 218. If an SSC does not pay on the due date any installment of advance tax that he is required to pay by an order of the assessing officer and does not honor before the due date, send to the assessing officer an intimation that, as per his estimate of the current income, the advance tax payable would be less than the amount specified in his order, or does not pay on the basis of his estimate of his current income the advance tax payable by him, he shall be deemed to be an SSC in default in respect of such installment or installments. Credit for advance tax, Section 219. Any sum paid by the SSC as advance tax shall be treated as payment of tax, and credit therefore shall be given to the SSC in the regular assessment. Interest for default in payment of advance tax, Section 234B. If an SSC who is liable to pay advance tax under Section 208 has failed to pay such tax, or where the advance tax paid under Section 210 is less than 90% of the assessed tax, he shall be liable to pay simple interest at 1% for every month or part of a month. The interest shall be charged from 1st April next following such financial year to the date of the determination of income under Section 143 Clause 1, or the regular assessment on an account equal to the assessed tax or on the amount by which the advance tax paid as aforesaid falls short of the assessed tax, as the case may be. Where before the date of determination of income under Section 143 Clause 1 or completion of regular assessment, tax is paid by the SSC on self-assessment under Section 140A, the interest shall be computed as under. Interest shall be charged according to the foregoing provisions from 1st April till the date on which the tax is so paid, and reduced by the interest, if any, paid along with the self-assessment of tax. Thereafter, interest shall be calculated on the amount by which the tax was so paid together with the advance tax paid fall short of the assessed tax. Where an application for settlement to the Settlement Commission has been made, the interest shall be charged from 1st April of the assessment year till the date of making such application on the additional amount of income tax. Where the Settlement Commission increase the total income as compared to the total income disclosed in the application for settlement, the interest shall be computed as under. Tax on total income determined by the Commission less tax on income declared in the application. From 1st April of the assessment year till the date of order of the Commission, rate of interest 1% per month or part of a month. Whereas as a result of an order of reassessment under Section 147 or under Section 153A, the amount on which interest was payable in respect of shortfall in payment of advance tax for any financial year is increased, the interest shall be charged from 1st April next following such financial year and ending on the date of the reassessment on the amount by which the tax on total income determined on reassessment exceeds the tax on the total income determined on the basis of regular assessment. The amount of interest shall automatically be revised where the amount of tax is varied as a result of revision, appeal, or rectification of mistake. Interest for deferment of advance tax, Section 234C, where the advance tax paid by an SSU on or before 15 June is less than 15% of tax due on returned income, or the amount of advance tax paid on or before 15 September is less than 45% of tax due on returned income, or the amount of advance tax paid on or before 15 December is less than 75% of tax due on returned income, he shall be liable to pay simple interest at 1% per month for a period of 3 months on the amount of shortfall in each installment. Where the advance tax paid by an SSC on the current income on or before 15 March is less than the tax due on the return income, the SSC shall be liable to pay simple interest at 1% on the amount of shortfall from the tax due on the return income. An eligible SSC in respect of the eligible business who is liable to pay advance tax has failed to pay such tax, or the advance tax paid by the SSCs on its current income on or before the 15th day of March is less than the tax due on the return income, then the SSC shall be liable to pay simple interest at the rate of 1% on the amount of the shortfall from the tax due on the return income. Exception: no interest will be levied in respect of any shortfall in the payment of advance tax due on the returned income. The shortfall is on account of underestimate or failure to estimating the amount of capital gains or the income from lottery, crossword puzzles, races including horse races, card games, gambling or betting, etc. Income under the head profits and gains of business or profession in cases where the income accrues or arises under the said head for the first time. Dividend liable to tax under Section 115 BBDA. Rates of tax for payment of advance tax during the financial year 2019-20 for the assessment year 2020-21. First one is individual senior citizen resident in India who is of the age of 60 years or more but less than 80 years during the previous year. On first rupees 3 lakh nil, on next rupees 2 lakh 5%, on next rupees 5 lakh 20%, on the balance 30%. Individual super senior citizen resident in India who is of the age of 80 years or more during the previous year, on first rupees 5 lakh nil, on next rupees 5 lakh 20%, on the balance 30%. Other individuals HUF, IAP or BOI, on first 2 lakh 20%, on next 2 lakh 55%, on next 5 lakh 20%, on the balance 30%. Surcharge, a surcharge 10% if total income exceeds rupees 50 lakh but does not exceed 1 crore. Surcharge 15% if total income exceeds 1 crore. Marginal relief, where the total income exceeds rupees 50 lakh but does not exceed 1 crore, the total amount payable as income tax and surcharge on such income shall not exceed the total amount payable as income tax on a total income of rupees 50 lakh by more than amount of income that exceed rupees 50 lakh. Where the total income exceed 1 crore rupees, the total amount payable as income tax and surcharge on such income shall not exceed the total amount payable as income tax on a total income of rupees 1 crore by more than the amount of income that exceed rupees 1 crore. Health and education cess on the amount of income tax and surcharge, if any, at 4% shall be charged. In the case of cooperative society, up to total income of rupees 10,000, 10%, on the excess of total income over rupees 10,000 up to rupees 20,000, 20%, on the excess of total income over rupees 20,000, 30%, surcharge if total income exceed rupees 1 crore, 12%, marginal relief as discussed in 1B, health and education cess 4%. In the case of every firm, income tax 30%, surcharge if total income exceed 1 crore, 12%, marginal relief as discussed in 1B, health and education cess 4%. In case of every local authority, income tax 30%, surcharge if total income exceed rupees 1 crore, 12%, marginal relief as discussed in 1B, health and education cess 4%. Domestic company income tax, where the total turnover or the gross receipt in the previous year 2017-18 does not exceed rupees 250 crore, 25%, other than that referred to in A 30%, company paying tax under section 115B 25%, surcharge if total income exceed rupees 1 crore but does not exceed 10 crore rupees 7%, if total income exceeds 10 crore rupees 12%. Marginal relief, where the total income exceeds 1 crore rupees, the total amount payable as income tax and surcharge on such income shall not exceed the total amount payable as income tax on a total income of rupees 1 crore rupees by more than the amount of income that exceeds 1 crore rupees. Where total income exceeds 10 crore rupees, the total amount payable as income tax and surcharge on such income shall not exceed the total amount payable as income tax and surcharge on a total income of 10 crore rupees by more than the amount of income that exceeds 10 crore rupees. Health and education cess 4%. Non-domestic company on royalty income received from the government or Indian concern as per the agreement with the government or Indian concern before 1st April 1976, or fees for technical services as per the above agreement 50%, on the balance of total income 40%. Surcharge if total income exceed 1 crore rupees but does not exceed 10 crore rupees 2%, if total income exceed 10 crore rupees 5%, marginal if as discussed in 5, health and education cess 4%. Thank you.